What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to the Knicks Cave. I'm Jan, a Knicks fan, your host, and let's get right into it. But before we do, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment. You want to know the next video going to drop. Hit that notification bell. All right, y'all, let's get into this video. The New York Knicks are on a 4-game winning streak. You heard me. You heard what I said. All right, y'all. I said I was comfortable with Mike Brown last video, but with each game, I feel validated. And what I mean by validated, because last season, y'all heard me calling for Tom Thibodeau head on countless of my shows, videos, or whatever after games. I was calling for this man to be fired. And I know a lot of you was getting tired of hearing that. I was sounding like a broken record. But I feel vindicated because, like I said, Mike Brown, I'm not saying Mike Brown is Phil Jackson, Steve Kerr, Greg Popovich. But in my opinion alone, y'all can hit me in the comments and tell me I'm crazy. Tell me how you feel. Y'all already know how I feel on this channel. If you're new to this channel, I value everybody's opinion. You hit me in the comments. There's no animosity. I'm just going to answer you honestly as your comment is honest. Your honest opinion, I'm going to give you my honest opinion. I don't pretend to be an expert. I'm just give you my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And I look for your opinion. Now, like with that being said, Mike Brown just know how to adapt to the game. Granted, we're not going to win every game. And when we don't win every game, we start hearing it from the people. The people start getting upset, questioning Mike Brown. I think I had to question him too when Brunson got hurt. You had to question him, and he learned from that. And what I mean by what he learned from that, because when the Knicks are in a position where they about to win, and you already know they about to win the game, he bring the bench in. When the Knicks are in a position where they look like they have no chance of coming back and catching up, he pull the starters out. He's not going to try to do too much. He went down that road and he's seen what it cost him. You know what I'm saying? It almost cost us our captain, you know what I'm saying? Because Brunson shouldn't have been in that game. Orlando Magic was blowing us out. There was no reason he should have been in that game. So I look at Mike Brown and I see that he learned from that game. He learned from that game, and he's not going to make the same mistake twice. And that's what I like about this coach. I'm not saying he's better than Tom Thibodeau. I'm just saying I like this coach. I'm just going to put that out there. I like the way he think on the fly. I like the way he interact with the players. I like the way the players interact with him. I like the way when the players come off the court, how they talk to the assistant coach. I like the way everybody is a unit. You know what I'm saying? It's just one unit. It's not guys sitting on the side looking at Tom Thibodeau with his arms folded and upset, even when we make a good play, because every play is not going to be a good play. Every play is not. It's just not. All right, let's get into this game. The Knicks were spectacular. I'm just going to say it like that. Coming out in the first quarter, I had to question myself. I had to question the Toronto Raptors. I was like, I was worried. I was like, okay, this is going to be a preview of the Emirates Cup for the New York Knicks when they get into that knockout round. And I was like, this game would tell us everything about that game. And that game is what? On December 9th, which is 4 games away. I put 5, excuse me, 4 games away. And the Knicks play the Celtics, the Hornets, and the Jazz in between them games. And if you look at these teams' record, right now, the Knicks are standing in second. You know what I'm saying? They have a record of 13-6. Yes, Toronto still have a better record, but with us getting that win, it leapfrog us over them in the standings. And we're just 2.5 games behind Detroit. And when you look at our schedule, the next 4 games before we play the Toronto Raptors, we got the Celtics, we got the Hornets, we got Utah Jazz, and we got Orlando Magic, a team that dominated us twice so far this year. We haven't had an answer for the Magic. A good moral victory will be to come out and just blow the Magic out of the water the next time we meet. But we can't get hung up on the last games. I mean, they dominated us the last 2 games. They truly dominated us. And the thing about it, they did not have their star player, but Mo, I forget which one of the Wagner brothers was, but he really dominated us. Last time, first game, he had like 20 something points. On the next game, he had 35 something points. He dominated the New York Knicks. So now Mike Brown's going to definitely have to come up with a scheme to stop the Orlando Magic. And this would be another test for Mike Brown. Can he get over that hump and beat the Orlando Magic? Last year, the Knicks' weakness was, what you want to say, kryptonite was the dominant teams of the league. And when it mattered, we beat the dominant team. Well, we beat one of them dominant teams when it mattered the most, which was the Boston Celtics. And nobody had the New York Knicks beating the Boston Celtics, and we beat the Boston Celtics. And I don't want to hear about them losing Jason Tatum because they was already down 3 games. And in that game that we beat them, we was winning that game. And the reason Jason Tatum got hurt because he had to do what he had to do. He had to do it all from himself. He had to try to carry the Celtics on his back. I mean, Brown, so far this season, have had some good games. I'm not going to lie to you. And a lot of people didn't think that the Celtics would be where they at. They're not in the top. I think they're somewhere 5th, 6th, somewhere in the league. They're 11-9. And I'm not worried about the Celtics. Let's just say, like, I'm a Jets fan. We won yesterday, and I was mad. I'm gonna be 100% real with you. I was mad that we won that game. The Jets won. And the reason I bring this up, not to go off topic, because I'm trying to say I'm a New Yorker and I hate everything that's Boston, whether it be the Red Sox or the New England Patriots or the Boston Celtics. I hate everything Boston. I'm just gonna be 100% real with you. So we got Boston up our next game, and I want us to dominate that game. I want us to truly dominate that game. We have to dominate that game. But let's get back to this game. I know I like to go a little off topic sometimes. The Knicks shot 46% in that game, 16 for 45 from downtown. Well, 45, the Knicks are trying to get up 43s per game. And I have no problem with that if we're going to be at least make 50% or at least 40% of that. Well, I guess 16 is around that 40, 30% margin. I just think we should try to bring that 3-point down to maybe 30 a game. That should be our goal. The first quarter, the Knicks was hot. I mean, Mcbride started off. We're going to talk about Mcbride. We got to talk about Mcbride. Like, every Knick had the knack when it came to the 3-point shooting in that first half. I think we put up like 10 threes in that first half. And then we just went cold. We just went cold night because you see, like, that first half, first quarter, the Knicks was just putting them up 16-45 out of 3-pointers. In the second half, we barely made a 3-point shot, which had kind of got the Knicks in trouble because the Knicks had a 24-point lead, and the Raptors was able to cut that down to 3 points. Then the Knicks made their move and never looked back. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was a couple of times the Knicks went up 18 points, and the Raptors, they made their move. Then I started like, okay, maybe the Raptors are not that much of a pretender, but I'm not going to call them contenders. I'm going to put them, how can I say about the Raptors? What can I say about the Raptors? The Raptors is where they at right now. They're where the Knicks was at in Tom Thibodeau's third, second year. They're making a name for themselves. You know what I'm saying? They have the pieces. Let's be real and let's be honest. They have the pieces. But I don't think the Raptors have the pieces enough to be a dominant playoff team. I'm going to be real. I'm 100 with y'all. And what I mean by that, I'm like right now, I'm contradicting myself because when he was on his team, a lot of y'all heard me talk about R.J. Barrett. Matter of fact, y'all heard me call him Star Barrett. But I don't think R.J. Barrett is enough to get Toronto to a championship. Now, I look at Brandon Ingram, and he's a young, exciting player. He's not as young as he used to be, but he's still a young, exciting player. But I don't think he's going to be one of them guys that you talk about a lot throughout the league. I like what I mean by that. You see LeBron James is getting old. Steph Curry is getting old. A lot of our stars, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard. Them guys is about to leave the NBA, and we got to have a new batch. And we already know who the new batch of them stars is going to be. We already the Joker. We got the Joker in there. We got Shea Gilgeous Alexander, Jalen Brunson, definitely Tatum, Halliburton, guys like that. So that's what I mean about when I talk about Brandon Ingram. I don't really put him with them guys, but I'm not trying to take nothing away from him because he's averaging what this year? Brent Ingram's averaging 21 points, 6 rebounds, and 3.7 assists. He's clearly the best scorer on the team, and he had the highest minutes played. But I don't see Toronto as a real threat. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I always say I give you my opinion. And the reason I'm going back to that, because before the season start, all the experts, which I say I'm not, you know what I'm saying, had the Knicks was saying the Knicks are supposed to do this, the Knicks got to be dominant, the Knicks to that, and this team, that team. Nobody was talking about Toronto or Detroit or even Orlando Magic as being the teams that they are right now. My point being is that we don't know. We have to let the season play out. And then we can give you our honest opinion. And that's what I do. I don't try to jump the gun and say this team's going to be that and this team's going to be trash because this player's not there. You have to remember that other guys got drafted to the NBA for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Just because you don't think they're stars, at one point in their careers, they were the man. That's how they got into the college. You know what I'm saying? Most of them. And with that being said, like I said, we got Hornets, we got Jazz, and we got the Magic. And the Hornets are 6-14. I don't consider the Hornets to be a threat. We beat them twice so far, 113-108 on October 17, and then we just beat them November 26, 129-101. Now, I really don't like to overlook any team because they just beat the Raptors. I'm talking about the Hornets. And they was the team that stopped that winning streak. So I'm not going to overlook them. But if you look at the Knicks record, the Celtics is 11-9, Hornets is 6-14, the Jazz is 6-13, and the Magic is 12-8. The Knicks can actually take the number one position. You know what I'm saying? We go these next 4 games. I didn't look at who Detroit play to see their matchups, but the Knicks go out because right now this is the bottom of the barrel in the NBA that the Knicks about to hit these 4 teams. All right, and the Knicks, if they do what they're supposed to do, they can take the number one position. And then I know I want to hear what people have to say about Mike Brown. I'm going to let y'all know I am down with Brown. You know what I'm saying? I am down with Mike Brown. I feel that he's a better, I don't want to contradict myself and say he's a better coach than Tom Thibodeau. I just feel that he's the right man for the job right now for the New York Knicks. I like the way he handled the team. He gets the adjustment. He rests Jalen Brunson. I just like it, you know what I'm saying? And now let's talk about Josh Hart, because my last video was should Josh Hart stay in that starting unit, and Josh Hart is making it hard for him to go back to the bench when Anunoby come back. And I think Anunoby should be back for that Jazz game. If not, he might. I really feel in my heart that he definitely will be back for that Toronto game. Because I say that because he's doing 3-on-3s right now. Unless he have a setback, I only see progress happening. So I think we should get Anunoby back. If not for the Jazz game, maybe that Magic game. And maybe it surprised me like the Brunson did, the captain did, and come back sooner and come back for that Hornets game. But Josh Hart, he's making it hard, you know what I'm saying, to go back to the bench. And since he's been our starter in the starting unit, we have won them 4 games. Since the 4 games he started so far, since Anunoby been hurt, we have won all 4 games with his tenacity, his rebounding, and need I say more, his scoring. And that is a sneaky component to the New York Knicks' new starting lineup. Yes, you heard me, sneaky component. Because teams, they like to back off Josh Hart and give him that shot. I don't know if they're going to keep doing it all season long, But either way is only good for the New York Knicks because once they feel that they can't double whoever and they have to play defense on Josh Hart, it's going to leave guys open or one-on-one man situations with Jalen Brunson with that footwork. In the NBA, I have not seen anybody with better footwork than Jalen Brunson. I'm just going, other than like Victor, I about to say Victor Wembanyama. I fucked his name up, excuse me. Have good footwork. Olajuwon, old great, had great footwork. Jalen Brunson had the best footwork, especially in the paint in the NBA. He just know how to get to his spot. He know how to control the situation and control the defender. Let's just be real. But he had an off night tonight. He had a very off night tonight. Still, he managed to score 18 points. He went 6 for 19. Excuse me. 6 for 19. From downtown, he shot 1 for 6. Free throws, 5 for 5. I mean, it was a good game for him, but it wasn't a good game. And what a lot of people noticed that they started to put big guards on him, but they didn't have a big guard on Brunson tonight. He was forcing it a little bit too much. But other players stepped up. Every starter scored in double digits. Bridges had a slow but productive night. When I mean slow, I mean because he didn't come on until later on in the game. At a point, other than his defense, his offense, it looked like he just was on the court because he wasn't making any baskets. He had Bridges shot 6 for 10, 2 for 4 from downtown. He was a plus 17. He had 2 steals and 2 blocks. He filled up the stat sheet. I'm saying, and let me backtrack on him because he only took 10 shots or 10 field goal attempts, and he made 6. So he shot 60% from the field tonight, and he only shot 4 attempts. He only attempted 4 shots from downtown. So he shot 50% from downtown. He made 2 out of them 4. So he had a very efficient game, and he played 33 minutes, but he was in foul trouble. He had 5 fouls, but before the half came, he had 3 fouls. He didn't get to play his regular minutes. But the players that stepped up, like Josh Hart and Deuce Mcbride. Now, Deuce McBride, when we traded quickly, a lot of people was upset with that trade, and I wasn't because I knew that McBride was a better player. And I'm going to say it again. In my opinion, in my heart, McBride is a better player than Quickly. I know Quickly can get hot and shoot from anywhere, but Quickly is not consistent. And I know I'm throwing the word consistent out when I'm talking about McBride can be a little hard, like hitting the nail with a hammer, because sometimes he's very inconsistent. But he's still consistent on defense. Wherever his game may be, he's going to be consistent on defense. And when you need him to step up, he steps up. Now, the reason I said that about him when I'm comparing him to Quickly is his flash. And I'm not, it seems like I'm, because I made a video once about Quickly being an all-star one day, and now that he's on Toronto Raptors, I'm not throwing Quickly under the bus. I'm not saying Quickly is trash, but what Quickly is, he's flash. He's a flashy player. He'll get you a bunch of points, but at the same time, when you need Quickly to show up, he does not show up. And it was proven tonight, because as good as he was tonight, when the Raptors needed Quickly, he was not making them shots. And then that's when he become a liability. He started taking them deep threes, missing, going to the hole and missing, and just get the blinders on and not pass the ball. Deuce McBride is always going to stay within the game. He's always going to let the game come to him, especially if he's having an off night. If you're having a good night, he don't force it. He let the game come to him, especially because he's not going to always have the ball in his hand. And the Knicks, the New York Knicks, if you look at what they've been doing lately, when it comes to assists, they have really been moving the ball. They're averaging somewhere around 28 assists per game. When the season first started, we was up there at 30. And I want to see I want the Knicks to average at least 35 assists per game. If we can average 35 35 assists per game, I think the Knicks will be unstoppable because teams will they'll be too tired of running around trying to catch up with the basketball. But yeah, guys got to make the shots. Let's be real, because we do move the ball a lot, and guys just was missing the shots. And Knicks went on a little slump in that game, and Toronto looked like they was ready to step up. Toronto looked like they was like, okay, we about to show you why we was number 2 in the East. But the Knicks, they not one time did the Hornets lead in that game, if I'm not mistaken. The Knicks control that game from wire to wire. If they led in that game, it probably was like the first 2 back points, matter of fact, that they got before the Knicks. But once the Knicks got a double-digit lead, the Knicks never looked back. And yes, Toronto made it interesting a couple of times, but once the Knicks got that lead, they took control, especially in the fourth quarter, and they never looked back. So what can I say about the New York Knicks? I think this team will make the Eastern Conference Final. I'm going to be real with y'all. And I know y'all heard me say that if they don't make it, the season's not a bust. And it's not. And I wasn't trying to make any excuses. I'm just trying to point out the fact that Mike Brown deserved the same as Tom Thibodeau. You know what I'm saying? He deserved the same time frame. We gave Tom 5 years. We can give Mike 5. But I'm gonna back it up. With the roster that Mike Brown have, I'm only giving Mike Brown 4 years. You know what I'm saying? But then who knows in the 4th year what type of player Brunson will be. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we have to give him some type of leeway, the same leeway we gave Tom Thibodeau. Tonight was a damn good game, coaching-wise, players, fans, whatever you want to say. It was a damn good game. A preview for that NBA Cup, which I think the New York Knicks have a great chance of winning this year. I know the West is strong, but I think the Knicks have a great chance of winning this Cup. And I know the Cup is not the NBA Finals, but it's a feather in the cap, especially for a coach, for the players, the bonuses that they get financially. Some of the Knicks players on this team, they deserve that. You know what I'm saying? You got to realize some of these guys not making the money that Brunson making. So, yeah, I got a feeling the Knicks will go far. I got a feeling we might be in that finals for the Emirates Cup. And if we in it, I got a feeling we're going to win it. Tell me what y'all think. Hit me up in the comments. I try to answer every comment. You know what I'm saying? I keep it real 100 with y'all. And with that being said, I want everybody to stay safe, stay healthy, God bless, and peace.